Good day to you all. This is Chai Hound. First in a series of videos on cooking with Chai Hound. Now today, what I wanted to do is start off with something very simple. Skillets. We have a lot of them. Matter of fact, let's start off with what we know, like what our parents and grandparents cooked with. Here you have is the old iron skillet. These are the old reliables. Old school. I mean, many of you all probably remember growing up as children, kids, how chicken, pork chops, grits. I mean, not grits though. They fried grits too though. But, you know, sausage, eggs, your pancakes in some cases were cooked in these. Very old and reliable. That's why I still have them. I have a whole set still. Now here's my favorite right here. Old Paula Deen. This skillet, I fried chicken, fried shrimp, popcorn. I mean, it's an old reliable. And I really enjoy using this. But what we're going to get into is the skillet that I purchased. On TV, as some of you all know, they've had advertisements in reference to stone skillets. Well, here's one that I purchased. Stone coated non-stick frying pan. This is made by Stone Line. Here's the skillet right here. I actually poured water into it. Believe it or not, the water beads up. Look at that. How the water beads. Now that's a true non-stick right there. Just by how the water beads up. I purchased this one from one of the Causeway distributors. That's like Amway, like Herbalife. They have a store that distributes it. This particular store is here in LA on Western, but anyway, I'm going to give it a shot. What we're going to do today is we're not going to use any grease, no oil, no butter. And we're going to see how this skillet works. It's one of the stone coated skillets. They said it adds to the taste. Well, basically what I'm going to do is I may throw some eggs in here, steak, and I'm going to do some potatoes. Maybe with some onions. No grease, no oil, no butter. So we're going to see how this goes. If they're telling the truth how these things work and it affects the taste of the food. I went to the store and purchased some meat. Here we have choice beef ribeye steak, bone and pack. But anyway, it's the suppleness of the meat that tells you how tender the meat is. If this is very hard and you can't push it, it's not worth getting. In some places in the world, you can't get meat this tender. But there are other places they are. We just happen to be in Los Angeles and we're very fortunate to be able to get fresh cuts, quality cuts of meat. So this is what we're going to start off with. To start off with, we always wash our meats. Some people just want to throw meats in a skillet, but now your chicken, everything, which I can show in another later video, you wash your meat off. You clean it off good, because any particles, you never know what's on there. You got fat, grease. Fat's okay on meat because it adds to the flavor. But there's other little particles that you may not want from the fact that these are coming from a butcher. And they may have other meats on it, so on and so forth. But that's neither here nor there. Just washing it, keep it clean. Then we go into seasoning. We're going to do this with the Montreal steak seasoning from McCormick. One of the grill mates. I always like to make sure to make it like a rub when I season. With this, I don't think you need any pepper or anything else with it. And we turn it around and season it on the other side. Oops, a little clumsy there. Okay, we have our stone grill around 4.5. and we're heating it up. Remarkable how the little bead of water just is running around boiling. Very interesting. It's not sticking or burning to the pot. It's just, you could just run this around. Very interesting. Okay, here we go. Placing it in the skillet. This is the start, so I'm not going to keep the video running. I'm going to add intervals pop up just to show how the meat look in the process of cooking on this stone coated grill, stone coated skillet. So far we got like 3 minutes into this, almost 4 minutes. And notice, the meat does not stick. Matter of fact, the water condensation coming from the meat is boiling itself away. Okay, here we go with the progress. Turn the meat over. We turned it down to 4. So that way to see what's going on. Meantime, what we did over here was cut up some onions and potatoes. We're going to throw some potatoes in there, and then we season up some eggs right quick. We're going to throw some eggs in there. We're going to test it to see if we don't need any grease. Stuff that we usually use grease, oil, or butter with. We're going to see how it works without it. With this stone skillet. As I cut into the meat, with the steam in here, the lens, you can still see it's a little, just a little bit still semi-raw. So I'm going to have to let it cook some more. Turned it over. This is going to be one well done piece of meat. I used to eat medium rare, but not the way meat is these days. I cook mine well done. It's almost done. We're going to see how this thing cleans up so I can put the onions and the potatoes in here.